All right, greetings. We have a couple of minutes before we are set to start our priestly council analysis of this year's reading. So, for those of you who are already in the chat, I'm just getting you ready and getting you primed. And I will be adding our priest to the stage of the chat in about what's this 6, 7, 8, 9 about 8 minutes. I think 8, 10 minutes. No, 7 minutes. So give me 7 minutes, and we're going to add the priest to the chat. And at 8:05, we will start our analysis. So I'm going to give you guys time to come in, give everybody time to get set up, and we are going to start. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I actually, thank you for asking. I was thinking about it today when I took my walk, and I think I'm going to change the tiers in all honesty and just make it one tier so that everybody can have access to the readings. So, okay. So yeah, I am thinking about that. Probably that's what's going to happen within the next couple of days or so. So that I'll just have one tier, and it'll be the $14.99 tier. And on that tier, I will be doing the full moon and new moon reading. So that is probably what's going to happen. I had it set up differently, but I think I'm going to change it. So thank you for asking that, Natasha. While we're waiting, let me grab some incense and get the vibrations right. Yes, I'm just gonna light some Nirvana, some of the Nirvana incense that I got when I was in Bali in September. So this has been my favorite scent all year. So let's get this going. And as soon as 8 o'clock hits, I'm gonna add the priestesses. So we're gonna get the Nirvana going, get the vibes all cool and calm and sweet. We'll set that up over here. And we have about 4 minutes. Greetings, everybody. And we will be bringing our priestesses to the stage. So I'm going to make sure everybody is updated. All right. It is good to see everybody. And y'all know it is always a blessing to be here with y'all and to sit in the midst of the currency that is Black women and femmes. And I'm super excited to hear the analysis that is coming from our esteemed priesthood. So give everybody a couple of more minutes and we're going to add them and then we will get it going. Make sure you got your pencil and paper out, whatever your note-taking device is. Make sure that you have that ready because I know that everything that's going to be shared this evening is going to be powerful, useful, insightful, and it's going to take everything that Oshun shared with us on the first to the next level and the level that you want to be at and the level that you're trying to take it to. So make sure you got everything prepared. Make sure you're ready, right? I love good old fashioned pen and paper note taking. Y'all know that. But I know that today, sometimes people like to take notes on your phone. Sometimes people like to do a recording on your phone. So however you do it, make sure that you with us and you doing that. Okay, so we got about 2 minutes. And we're going to add everybody. And we will officially start at 8:05. But we'll start adding people to the stage as soon as it is 8 o'clock. Let me get my fan, guys. I really hate the fact that YouTube has taken away our ability to have music on a live stream because I always got a vibe going on in my head, a musical vibe, and I just love to be able to listen while I am doing something like this. Okay. Let's start our adding. Let's get it going. Okay. Priestly Council, y'all are being added now. And if your mic is on, please speak and give your greetings to everybody. It doesn't have to be on, but if it's on, go ahead and give your greetings. You are on the stage and can be seen.
Greetings.
Hello.
All right. People are
Hello.
still coming
Hello.
in, so I'm going to keep adding. All right. As you come in, please greet
Greetings.
everybody.
Greetings, everyone.
Okay. I'm just answering a question. So I'm telling the people to get their pencil and papers ready, their voice notes, however they take notes, because I know that the funky breakdown is about to be the livest ever and exactly what we need to push on through these times that we're going through. And I'm remembering each and every day, no matter what my news feed said, that Oshun said it's good. She said it's all good, so it's all good. And that's what we're rolling with. So I cannot wait to hear the thoughts and the insights and to get the deeper meanings. And the continual reminder that it is all good. While we're waiting, we'll start at exactly 8:05. I'm gonna I think I can share this. Let's see if it will allow me to share it. Yes. Yeah, the priestly council is fly. They be fly as hell. You know. This is the form to register for the talk that I will be giving on the 16th through the 18th of January at the Mystic Temple of Oshetura event that's going to be meeting in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So if you are interested, the form is right there in the chat. So hold on, I think I have a couple more people to add. And we are 3 minutes out. And I want us to start exactly at 8:05. All right. Making sure I grab my notebook as well. Okay, we got about 2 minutes. Let me see. Get my notebook out here to a free page. And as soon as it's 8:05, I'll explain a little bit of the format, and then I'll let everybody get going. Before you give your insight, I want you to introduce yourself. And if there is anything that you want me to share with the audience where they can reach you or anything of that nature, send it to me in a text so that I can then put it on the screen. Okay, let me see who else. Got everybody. I think. Okay, we are at 8:05. We are going to get started. I think I have a couple of people that I may have to, as the younger diviners speak, I may have to move you guys off the stage and put a couple of people in. But we're going to start with the youngest. The youngest do speak first because the people with the less experience are the ones that we allow to speak first. So we will be starting like that. So it's 8:05. Welcome to everyone who is here. Ekabo to the initiates. I do pray for joining us and for being here, for doing this work and this service to the community. I always tell people that to be a priestess means that you are a servant of the community. And so it always warms my heart to see you all serving the community. We are the Priestly Council of the Sweetwater Collective, the New African Vodun, Elay, on Turtle Island, but we are, of course, an international group of women and group of priests and priestesses, group of people. So what we're going to do here tonight is to make sure that the reading has been covered from every aspect possible. As a New African Vodun Elay, we do not want to leave out the Vodun perspective. We do not want to leave out the Hoodoo perspective. And we don't want to leave out the perspective of any of the deities that we represent as initiates here tonight. So we try to get as many perspectives as we possibly can so that people can ingest the reading from their own level of understanding and from those ancestral connections that are in their DNA, because that is our responsibility as priests and priestesses in the New African Vodun tradition. So I want us to get started. I don't want us to take too much time, but the youngest person that is on the stage right now, if you would step up and get started, introduce yourself and get started. Youngest in terms of initiation.
I guess that's me.
Yep, I think so.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. My given name is Rachel. The name that Oshun gave me is Odo Funlade. I'm an EOO, about 16 days out from completing. Um, I overall, what stuck with me most about the reading is the comfort, actually, the comfort and the coolness because of what we've all been through. I would say probably over the past 7 years. Um, we've been gnawing and clawing and being drugged face down on the concrete. At least I know I have.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was really, really comforting that with our Odu being O'Shea and an OD, that the floodgates are open. There are no obstacles to keep going where we had to duck, dodge, pivot. That was the most comforting thing. And then the other thing that stood out for me is the what I gathered is the not shaming or villainizing or demonizing or dehumanizing ourselves that Ia said. We all do it consciously and subconsciously. By trade, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I had a client the other day that just kept talking horrible. And I call her cousin, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna have you stop talking bad about my cousin because I don't play." So we should say that to ourselves. I feel like I should say that to myself, which I do. I strong arm myself a lot. Um, and the very thing that can go way back to childhood trauma and even through adolescent or just going on through life, that very thing that barrier that box that we put ourselves in, um, Oshun let us know that we have freedom to expand now. We have freedom to evolve. So as Ia always says, take exceptional good care of yourself. The other point that I really liked, her quote, no matter what they say about honey, it will always be sweet. So
Yeah.
no matter how much anybody feels about you, how what anybody feels about you, what you may think they feel, that doesn't change the narrative of who you are. But then going back to what we're shameful of, that doesn't define who we are because we have to take the power back from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one step at a time, but it's the comfort that we have freedom to expand now, not to procrastinate, to chase our wildest dreams, and if we reach them, to dream bigger. And then once we reach that, dream bigger again, and keep going and going and going.
Yes. Whew. So grateful. I do pray, y'all all. And if we can hear from the Novici next, I think you're the next youngest.
That would be me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay, Ibeji, Ibeji, Ibeji. Great, great, great work. So thank you so much for the reading of the year. I have come to look forward to it. Like I have come to look forward to it. And it's been interesting to see actually at the end of the year how what you said at the beginning of the year has played out. So I always love that perspective. What stood out for me, I really love the representation of the three forces, Oya, Oshun, Nayete, Jemaya. Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
and also, I believe Oba is represented in O'Shea as well in some form or fashion. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like, woman, hear me roar. It is the
Mm.
energy of the woman. Like no matter where you fall on that scale, no matter what your flow is, this is your time. Like that's really what I got for that, right? Um, so also with Nayate, I saw like there's so much diversity in the ocean. I always think about crab mentality, right? Crabs are in the ocean, but for us right now, that is just not the energy. Every diversity is has room to play. Every diversity has room to grow. So whatever and whoever you be, and you might be all of those, you get to show up, right? So I was really really excited about that. I relationships, we talked about reciprocity, and And I was just thinking how when I came into the tradition, I really got to understand there's no free grace. Like nothing is free, right? Even the things that are free, even the things that are given, somebody it's a reward from somebody else's, energy and ashe.
Yes.
So I have really been really, especially this past year, been so grateful for the opportunity to establish my relationship with my Agun, establish my relationship with myself, establish my relationship with my Orisha, And for us right now, O'Shea talks about that. Our spirituality has to be at the forefront.
Yes.
No matter what is going on out here, this is not the reality. The reality for me is I've had to like go inward.
Yes.
I like we talked about taking care. Ibeji talked about this, taking care of exquisite of yourself exquisitely. A lot of that looks like solitude for me. For me, a lot of that looks like learning who am I? What like really why am I here? So that has been super super exciting, especially as it relates to my agun. The last thing you said in the reading, I'm gonna stop after this. I got so much to say. That thing, it was fire. It was fire. But the last thing you said was, the work doesn't stop. We've been doing a lot of work with deconstructing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's still part of that. Like with the snake perspective last year for me, and for me, like with Nayate, it's a lot of that energy that's been showing up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shedding, 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 all the things that don't serve you, shedding, shedding, shedding. So now that those things that were weighing me down, thinking about the perspective of this horse, the seahorse, which is like so fertile, which is like so it's regenerative. It just creates out of nothing, right? So with all of that happening, all of the shackles that are gone, it's time to run. It's time to run. And when I heard that we had to talk, I was like, oh my God, what? And this is part of like what that's about, right? Because we have what we need.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for my elders who reminded me that I am complete. And that's for everybody. And that's
Yes.
for everybody. That's for
Yes.
everybody. No matter where you are, no matter where you find yourself, I am complete
I should.
because the people that are behind me, have done this, So I get to trust that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited about this year. I'm very excited to say I'm complete. Y'all know I'm not, but I'm gonna say I am for the interest of time.
Yeah. I should. I should. All right, EOS, I'm removing you guys from the stage to make room for some of the elders, and you guys can come back in just on the YouTube section of the live stream. I do pray, very much needed, beautiful, masterful. I'm very proud. Love to see your beginning, dipping your toe into the D Lagoon. It's good. All right, I'm gonna remove you too. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, guys. Take these people off. And that will make room for the other people. All right. Who is up next in order of age? Jump on in. I think I know who it is, but y'all know I'm bad with numbers, so.
It is me. Greetings, everyone at Kaleo Alafia. I am Iya Osunpariola Ipakoya. And when I saw O'Shea D hit the mat, the first thing that came to mind is this is going to be a year where discernment is going to be key. And as the prophet Dwayne Carter said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. And so this
Mm-hmm.
is year for tucking in the things that you're working on, not casting your pearls before swine, so to speak. So, make sure that you check your circle and you're very clear on who you have in your circle before you start sharing what your plans are for the year.
Yes.
Also, duality comes to the forefront whenever we see Omi Meji or Dos Aguas. And so we have the three river deities that are present. In Oshe, we have Oshun, and then in Od, we have Yemaja, and we know one of our guiding deities for the year is also Oya. And so this is going to be a year ripe of emotion. And so we are going to be dealing with a lot of emotions. And that's not a bad thing, but it's something to be mindful of. And so EI teaches that only protection is protection. And I'm going to say that only therapy is therapy. This is a
Woo!
year to tap into therapy so that you can manage those emotions as we're riding these rivers through 2026. Also, keep in mind that we have the power to work the waters ourselves.
Ashe.
And in our daily rituals, we can be working up the waters. We can be programming the water that we're drinking, praying into the water, taking our spiritual baths. If you have a copper vessel, leaving your water at your bedside at night, feel free to write a prayer out and have that water sitting on top of that prayer. Drink the water in the morning and recite that prayer out loud. You can work the waters as you navigate the waters of 2026. And Dos Aguas is here to remind us of that. Also, this is a great year for head cleansing, staying up on that. Again, with our very heightened emotions for the year, we want to make sure that we are clear. Emotions are literally energy in motion. And so, with all that energy, we want to make sure that we are clear on the messages that are coming through from our own Ori, from the Orisha that we have, and from our Egun as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So as making sure that we are mindful of emotional eating as well, specifically the super sweet things, O'Shea, and the salty snacks as well, OD. So as we're thinking about emotions, also keep in mind the emotional eating is just something to keep at the forefront of our head. And if you find yourself wanting to reach for something, snack on something in excess, that's a great time to get up and move your body, as EI has already instructed us to do. Again, with Oya being one of our guiding deities, get up, move your body, do a little line dance, do a little twerk, and
Yes.
shift that energy. Also, this is a perfect year for honoring the divine feminine. As we all know, nothing in the time and space is exact, and so this energy has been brewing since the winter solstice. I know there were several Elays that did a day of solidarity in honor of the divine feminine on the winter solstice, and so I see that energy brewing. One of the classes I'm in, one of the Babaloshas who's initiated to Oshun said that it's been messages coming down from different people initiated to Oshun that this is going to be the year of reckoning, that we're no longer playing small with any abuse towards women, towards femmes, and that people are going to be called out for that. So don't be surprised if you see some of that happening. But also, let's check ourselves and make sure we're honoring the divine feminine and our feminine relationships as well. If you have not already, this is the perfect time to be doting on your own mother, checking in on your own mother, making sure she's good. And if she's in the ancestral realm, this is a great time to give a special offering, a Ademu, to prepare for her. Make sure you're not taking advantage of any imbalance in friendships. So we know that OD speaks on balance and reciprocity. And I think oftentimes we think about us getting what we need from it, but make sure you're also not taking advantage of people. So if people are, offering you things and giving you things, make sure you are giving in kind. So keep that balance equal there as well. Check yourself on any gossiping. Make sure you're not gossiping. Try to stay away from anyone that is gossiping. This is not going to be the year. Not that it's ever the time for it, but this certainly is not the year for that. And I know that we are in Iray, and our Iray is coming from Egun and Erosun, but I would like to remind everyone that even in Iray, it is Iwapele that sustains the Iray. So we have to be mindful of our own character as we navigate this year, because we can trip up our array and create blockages for ourselves if we're not mindful of our own good character. This is also an awesome time to do an Ade move for your Egon if you haven't already, since our blessings are coming from them. So I know that we all typically leave offerings for our Egon on a regular basis, but do something extra special for this E-Ray that they brought forth for us in 2026. Some things to be mindful of as well is, since this E-Ray is coming from our Egon, if you are not interested in babies this year, I would say strap up, make sure you are staying protected, because that is a form of blessing. Omo is considered E-Ray as well. And also in we have to be very mindful of STDs. So doubly, you want to be practicing safe sex, strapping up if you're not interested in having children, and just making sure your sexual health is top tier. Also, because of O'Shea, we know that O'Shea is the blood that flows through the veins. So we want to be very mindful of anything that could be going on with our blood, whether it be hypertension, especially with it being paired with OD. We want to be very mindful of our salt consumption. Also, be mindful of anemia during this year and any other blood processes that may come up. I heard very clearly that this is probably a year to abstain from seafood. I know we don't have any restrictions, but I would say if you are a seafood eater, consider limiting it. And if you can't limit it, make sure you are choosing high quality seafoods, because again, we have all these river deities that are present. And we know that sometimes there are restrictions related to that as well. And so this is a year of staying ready, so you ain't got to get ready. And even though we are in E-Ray, you want to be mindful of doing the work, as you know, people have already stated. And what comes to mind is the Pataki of Prepare for War, where Rumala told people about wealth raining down from the sky in the form of cowries. And everybody rushed out with their baskets and gathered their cowries. And then when he divined a few days later, he was like, okay, war is coming and there's going to be some weapons raining down tomorrow. Y'all need to come out with your baskets. And the next day, didn't nobody come out to receive the weapons because everybody was reveling in their abundance and, oh, we're in parade, it's good times. We ain't got to prepare for war. We're good. And then the town over heard about all the abundance and came to attack. And so then nobody had any weapons to protect their abundance. And of course, they had to go to a Rumala to, weapon up. And he was like, okay, but you're going to have to run me those calories, though.
Exactly.
So this be a year where you are so focused on E-Ray that you are not staying prepared for war. And I would like to say thank you for the time and opportunity, and I'm going to pass it on to my seniors.
I do pray beautiful, beautiful, grateful, so grateful for all of the deep and powerful insight. I am so proud. When I tell you, Oshun only sends me the absolute tip-top best, baby. And they gonna read you down every time. Me too. I get read down too, right? They gonna read your ass all the way down to your marrow. So if you hear in the audience, you got to be completely grateful. You got to consider yourself deeply blessed and lucky to be here, because that right there read me down. So I do pray. I'm gonna put you out in case anybody else needs to come in. Yeah, Pariola. And okay, let's go on. Who is the next in line? I think I know who it is, age-wise. I think it would be Ia Mina Monokwi, because we're going youngest and up. So I think you're the next young person.
Greetings, Afona, everybody. As far as the things that stood out for me during this year's reading of the year, was that note about how you could be literally missing out on community if you cannot divorce yourself from judgment. Like if you are so fixated on staying on that high horse, you'll be lonely. You'll be cutting yourself off from your resources. This is not a life that our ancestors designed for us to be doing alone. And so we need to really be intentional about not getting in our own way as far as maintaining and keeping the connections that are going to continue to feed us. So that part of it like was really, really loud for me. I also, when you were talking about like the ruling Orisha for the year being Oya and Obatala, that for me just felt like, I think Novici was speaking earlier about like the floodgates just being open. Like there's just such potential that's like accessible to everybody at this time. I think about Oya as, of course, the deity about transformation, transitions, flexibility, movement, ushering in and ushering out, right? And then we also have Obatala, a much cooler energy, a creative energy. Like those they feel not necessarily like opposites, but there's such space in between the two. And that for me just feels so ripe for whatever it is that you want to be planting. So that was something that felt really, really exciting. It was a different way for me to understand or like create a framework for interpreting the E-ray, you know? So that part really, really stuck out to me as well. I also wanted to talk just a teeny weeny bit about astrology, right? So we have O'Shea OD. O'Shea is associated with Oshun Ati Azuri, which means that in the astrological system, we're talking about Venus. Venus, of course, is the planet of pleasure, harmony, sweetness. She is the honey of the cosmos, if we're talking about it literally as planets. And then we have OD. OD is associated with Yemoja, which means it's associated with the moon. So we're talking about the cauldron of life. We're talking about what gets to become material or what doesn't get to come forward and become material. We're talking about nourishment, right? And so that's like all the water, y'all. That's the sweet water and the salty water.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the types of workings that we want to be steeped in this year, doing your water work is going to be really, really, really important. Okay. So that means all your spiritual baths. That means making your offerings at the river. Another thing, this is a technique that comes from our ancestral mothers, like the old African, like Eastern Kemet type area. One thing that they used to do to stay in proper relationship with the celestial energies is like take care of their kids, basically, right? So if we know that Venus is pleasure and beauty and luxury, that means that you want to be taking care of the neighborhood strippers. It means that you want to be, helping the grandmamas. You're going to be checking in on the elders, the mothers on the block. You want to, be checking in on them, making sure that they have what they need, making yourself available to them. If you can actually do something or give something, do that. If you can just be there to share company or be an ear for them, do that too. We all are walking around with the planetary energies inside of us. We are all presenting as them also at all times. So when you care for the planets as babies, they care for you in turn. So that's something else that you can incorporate as well. Let me see. The other thing that stood out for me as well, there was a lot of conversation about like protection and how everybody is worthy of protection and how protection is just not a passive thing. It is an active choice that you have to make. It's not something that runs in the background. It's an intentional thing that you have to do. You have to make time to do it. You have to make time to continue it, to feed it. Like it's an active thing. And I was thinking about that in conjunction with thinking about Oya as well. Like when we're talking about all of this change, Saturn and Neptune are moving into Aries this year, like in January and in February, and they will be there for quite some time. Saturn and Neptune get together in the sky every 36 years or so. It's pretty common. But Saturn and Neptune have not been in the sky together in Aries since like 555 AD.
Wow.
And so when we're talking about changes, when we're talking about new eras, this feels very much like that. Saturn is a planet that is about discipline. It is about building things. It is about structures and forms and the things that we want to exist long after we're gone, right? Saturn is the worker, the labor that is worth doing, you know. And Neptune is spirituality. It is the veil. It is matters of all things spirit. And it's happening in the sign of Aries. Aries is about yourself. It's about selfhood. It is about protection. It is about war. And so I would say that for this year, I think it'd be a good idea to do some alignment work, making sure that who you understand yourself to be and how you show up in the world and your values, like you want to make sure that there is consistency across those things. You don't want to be a fragmented self this year. This year, build spiritual practices and a self-concept that is based on wholeness and truth.
Oh, sure.
And that's about it for real, y'all. Yeah.
All right. If you have a website that you want me to share, Namanokwe, text it to me so that I can send it out to the people if that's something that the people need.
Gotcha.
So grateful. As you know, Namanokwe is bringing a Vodun perspective as well as her deep and serious experience in astrology. So we are so grateful. That gave me so many layers that I needed. So thank you.
Ache, it's my pleasure.
All right. Okay, who is next as far as age? All right. Come on, Osunyami. Yeah.
Greetings. Greetings.
And make sure I got your website info. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No problem. Greetings, everybody. My name is Iya Osuntajobo Ekondayo Egontolo Osunyemi. That's a whole mouthful. You can just call me Iya Dayo. Nice to see all of my siblings here, looking at all y'all beautiful faces. It's so good to see y'all. And want to follow in the footsteps of my womb mates and my siblings by digging into the use of other divinatory systems to be in line with the D-Logon, right? And so every year, having Iya's D-Logon reading of the year is the way that I start off. Like I get super excited on New Year's Day. I'll be sitting there with pen and pad. And so this year I was like, you know what? I felt led to use my own tools to try to give an offering to the community. And wouldn't you know it, because the ancestors speak all the time through all of our systems, it was right in line with what Oshun had to say to the saints through D-Logon, right? And so it just made me really, really excited to be able to say, yes, we are all on the same page. Here's what we can add to it from a hoodoo perspective, right? And so when you see O'Shea, we talking about the importance of ritual work. And when I throw the bones, the things of the spirit are important this year. We're talking about staying in connection with your spiritual practice, being consistent in your routines and in your rituals, staying in communion with your spirits, starting with yourself, starting with your Ori, going to your ancestors, and then the spirits who walk with you, the Orisha, the Loa, the Vodun, whoever they are who walk with you. You want to stay in constant communication with them throughout this year. Don't let yourself fall off of your consistency. When we talk about being in Ire, as my sister said, that doesn't mean that things can't fall apart if you are not staying in the energy which has led to the Ire. So continue to feed yourself, continue to feed your spirits, continue to be consistent in your rituals with them. Also this year, it's going to be important that your rituals contain mirror work. And so that's going to be about talking to yourself, affirming yourself, big upping yourself, because there are no obstacles in the way this year. The things that you want, you can have.
Sure.
There is no reason for you not to get all of your things this year. So when we talk about dreaming bigger and bigger and bigger, those big, big, big dreams, they're going to be coming true. But you have to give yourself the energy to push through and grab them. So doing this affirmation work, doing this constant looking at yourself in the mirror, literally, and talking to yourself and feeding yourself the confident energy that you need to go out and grab all of your things this year. Mirrors can also be used in ritual to deflect envy and jealousy, which are things that we are going to have to power past this year. And so the wearing of mirrors, the using of mirrors on your altar surfaces to deflect any negativity that might be coming your way, hang them in the doorways of your houses. Trust me, when folks who try to bring wahala and nonsense, they won't even be able to cross the threshold. Trust me, hang those mirrors in your doorways as a reflection. Let some people see themselves. Sometimes that's all you need to do in the work to protect yourself against other people is for them to see themselves clearly and the nonsense that they bring with them. So yes, adorn yourself with mirrors, adorn your home with mirrors, adorn your altars with mirrors this year. I bring you all the Cancerian energy as this is going to be the year of many waters. Yes, it's going to be emotion flowing all up and through. That makes me super happy because this is how I live every day. So I'm ready for it. But everybody ain't always ready, right? And so, yes, hold on to your butts. Get your surfboards out. It's going to be waves this year. Be prepared for it. It's okay. It's all right. Tears are good. They're good and they're necessary. They are natural cleansers. They are natural cleansing baths. Allow the tears to flow this year and don't be ashamed of them. There are going to be many, many happy and joyous tears this year. I look forward to hearing about all the joyous tears you have had to shed this year because of all the good stuff that is going to happen. We are still kind of in this full moon energy. We had that full moon in Cancer. I had a great day. I hope all of y'all also had a great day. But yes, this is going to be the year of that. It's going to be the year of the free flowing of emotions. So if that isn't something that you're used to, find your nearest Cancer and make her your friend because she will help you ride this out. You want to find people with emotional intelligence to be in close relationship with this year. We want to focus on balance this year. We want to focus on making sure, as Ia said, that we are reciprocal in our relationships. And a lot of times we think about making sure that we are giving enough to the folks that we love. And of course, that's important. But also, you need to give the folks that you love the opportunity to give to you. It is a way of being selfish when you are determined to be the only one who gives in a relationship. You are being selfish. If you do not allow the others to give to you and you receive in return, you are saying that there is nothing that I need that you got. That is selfish and it is rejection. Allow the people who love you to love you. Allow them to do things and to love you out loud. As diviners, because all of us up here are diviners, as diviners, it is important that you remember us this year. Diviners are servants to the community. Make sure that you are treating your diviners well. And diviners, make sure that you are treating your tools well. Remember that our tools are living things and we should be making offering to them. We should be cleansing them. We should be in communication with them, talking to them, forming deeper relationships with them. We are in relationship with our tools. We cannot hear from them well if we don't make sure that that relationship is also fed. That is also a reciprocal relationship. So be in communication all the time with your tools and treat them well. Ia Periola already talked about cleansing baths. Make sure that you are up on your spiritual baths this year. You would not go, I'd say it all the time, you would not go a week without washing your ass. Don't go a week without washing your head. Make sure that you are using your head, that we are doing these spiritual baths regularly. Get all of the unnecessary energetic funk off of you. When you see Eero soon, that is a blessing of fertility. As Ia Periola said, wrap it up if you ain't trying to be fertile in that way this year. But when we talk about children, we don't just mean literal living babies. It also means that you're going to be fertile in many different ways in your life. So even the things that you want to give birth to, that's coming to pass this year. Be excited about the many ways that you are going to be fruitful and multiply in this year. It's an exciting time. You are going to receive wealth and prosperity through the power of your own Ori. Tend to your Ori this year. Focus on what you want to accomplish. Make sure that you are wearing your finery. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you are doing the beauty rituals, the self-love rituals, those luxurious things that make you feel glamorous and beautiful. The Bone said this year that you need to make sure that you feel like the baddest bitch in every room. Why? Because that chick wouldn't lay down and let people walk on her. Since this is the year that we are grabbing all of our things, make sure that every space you occupy, you feel like it ain't nobody here who can out bad me. I am the baddest bitch in this room. And so that stands up straight. She throws her shoulders back, right? As I used to say when I was with my dance troupe, shoulders back, tits up, right? That's how you walk into every room. And when you walk into a room like that, you own that room. And so therefore, all of the things that you came for, they leaving with you. Make sure that you are in good community, that you are a part of the community this year, that you are out there, that you're being with each other and spending time together. And when we talk about balance, here's one thing that I like to say to folks. Don't mistake a person who is acquainted with peace to be a person who is not acquainted with war, right? And so we need to be able, just because we look peaceful, don't mean we don't come with weapons, right? Make sure that you walk in peace, but make sure that you got the weapons on you. If the fight is brought to you, make sure that if only one of the people can leave, the person who's leaving is you. Be ready.
Oh, that's right.
Be also ready all the time. And so, yeah, make sure to move your body. As Ia Periola said, get out there and twerking and moving around and doing all the things. I'm a belly dancer. I'm going back to hula class this year. Like, move, keep the flow going. This is the year of many waters. Keep the flow moving. That is magic. Magic does not work in a stagnant environment. And so make sure that you are keeping everything moving. And the last thing, on behalf of my sister Iya Kanyishola, who said to make sure to remind people, get them E-delay readings if you have not. And for those of us who have, if you know your family totem, those totems should be adorning your house. They should be adorning your altar. These are the spirits that are sent to protect you and to be in oneness with you. And so make sure you're doing that. And that's it. Blessings, y'all.
Adupwe. I have put Oshunyemi's bone reading. I put the link in here in the chat. And also I have put her email address. If you need the bones read for you, this is the person to get it done. One of the most renowned hoodoo saints on Turtle Island at this time. I pay homage to be within the presence of her greatness, and even more so to have her here within our midst. So please, I hope you took your notes. I got like 3 pages of notes already. And I told you was going to get read down. Me too. We was all going to get read down. So listen, Adupwe Iya, who is next in line in order of age? I ain't going to try to figure it out from here. All right, my bola.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everybody, to the Priestly Council. to our Right Honorable Voodoo Queen, to everybody in the audience as well. I'm very excited. This is like one of my favorite times of year when you do the reading of the year and we break it down and we reflect on the past year. And I'm extra excited to have my parent Orisha as our guardians. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yansa.
Yes.
And Obatala, Epa Baba me. I am an initiate of Oya Ibale, the Oya who is the mother of the ancestral masquerade, the mother who oversees the ancestral grove of the forest ancestral grove, that place that is set apart for our honored ancestors and for the spirits of the other spirits of the community that are guardians to us. Oya guards that space. And I'm also Mabole. Mabole is the title that means someone who is gender fluid, someone who is in between, who can be both, who can be neither. And to me, that fits very, very well with Oya. It's called Oya, the goddess of the edges, the goddess of the periphery, the goddess of the in between, the goddess of the places that that may go overlooked because they're in between, or that we try to put on the margins. And I'm just really excited to like uplift some of those aspects of her today. You know, I for a while used to be like, is it me? Are there fewer initiates of Oya? And it's true. There's not within the Eli. I mean, just within at large, within the community. And even one of her her songs, one of her Oriki and Oreen says, we few are for the terror. We few. And I have had to look at one of the Odu, O'Shea, that came up through her lens, through her energy. O'Shea comes up for me quite a bit, or especially has in the past year. And you know, a friend recently reminded me that, like, you know, the healers heal themselves and then share what they learn. So I'm here to share what I learned on my journey with O'Shea. I mean, I think especially as a gender fluid person, I can resonate with the aspect of needing to embrace what may be seen as a flaw to others, and realizing that is actually the thing that makes you dazzling, attractive, just beautiful. And I've come to realize that, like, okay, actually every androgynous person can tell you that no matter what people say about what they think about traditional gender roles, everybody is attracted to androgynous people. Because you're embodying like a mystery of the universe. You are embodying something that's different, something that's, ooh, like we don't usually see that, or oh, like I can't tell, are you a boy, are you a girl? I don't know what's going on here. People actually love it. So as you know, let me leave that nugget for anyone who is gender fluid, who is non-binary, or just sees themselves as expressing gender as a way that's not in line with this society's ideas of masculinity, femininity, man, woman. That is a superpower. That is a superpower. That is something that we need. Also, that we need to see, that people need to see for all kinds of reasons. We need to know. We need to see you embody that. Embody that fluidity, embody that sovereignty, also to say that I know I don't have to belong to either one or to fit in. What makes me unique is what makes me beautiful. So definitely hold on to that. That is something I've had to learn. And also, when I think of Oya within O'Shea, I think of alternative beauty standards. So I had to really look at, like, okay, what are my beauty rituals, knowing that those are protection, that they are essential. I had to think about what that meant for me as a gender fluid person at this time in my life. And, you know, things can change, and, you know, if you non-binary, you know, sometimes you may be putting on the full face of makeup. Sometimes this is putting on some cologne and tending to your beard and figuring out like what that is. But the alternative beauty standards they can sometimes be what is not showing up as mainstream beauty, but that you feel good in, that you are attracted to. So I'll just use myself for an example. I learned to play up the fact that I've always been into a more alternative style. I like to dye my hair. I got my ears stretched to like over an inch. I got these piercings in my face, and a couple of them new this year because Oya put it on me to just like embrace that has always been you, that you were Afro punk before the festival was a thing. Like
Yes.
do that. That is part of your superpower. So O'Shea is not talking about like beauty from any kind of trying to follow the mainstream. It is embracing that unique thing about you. Also, oh yeah, she appears that way. She appears that way even when she is in human form. So yes, she's the storm, and that's already, you know, a thing that is to be stormy, volatile, strong, a warrior may already put you on the fringes as someone in a femme body. But she also just in her physical appearance stands out. She is called reddish. She looks red, and she plays it up by putting red camwood on her skin, and is like, well, let me stay red, let me stand out. So she transforms from the buffalo to a human, and human to buffalo and back again. But even when she's becoming human, she's not trying to fit in. She's rubbing camwood on herself. She's dancing right in front of the drums, dancing to the bata. That is something that she revels in, that she absolutely revels in. And even the buffalo that she transforms into, people often choose the what is called the Cape buffalo. That's like that really big buffalo with the horns that like curl. They have a horn that like covers most of their head. But the type of buffalo that's indigenous to the area that Oya is from, indigenous to West Africa, is called the forest buffalo. It's much smaller. It has very reddish skin and fur, and it has these beautiful like crescent moon shaped horns. And it lives deep in the forest and in the plains. Now it is still fierce. It is still fierce, okay? To hunt a buffalo ain't no joke. To go into the forest and their territory ain't no joke. But they have these slim horns and slimmer, smaller bodies so that they can navigate through the forest. So this big animal can still be quiet as a mouse and still just curve its way through the trees. So I think of Oya as being big, but also, and being a warrior, but also being sensitive, being very sensitive. And with OD, that has also looked like honoring my sensitivity and honoring what my body is telling me. Sometimes we talk ourselves out of our body's natural protection, out of what our body is trying to tell us about our environment. And I encourage us to really like tap into that, sit with the sensations that your body is feeling, and then trust it, actually believe it. We read the air all the time. This is actually one of my favorite hoodoo things, is that my grandmother goes out on the porch every single morning, and I didn't understand it until I got older. And I loved to sit out on my porch, step out on the porch with my coffee, and just read the air for the day. Like, what am I feeling? And a lot of the time, if something tells me like, today's gonna be a little weird, today's gonna be a little watch it today. There's something in the air. Like there might be
Mm-hmm.
some wild driving going on. There may be some wahala. I'm always right. So remember to read the air, encourage and your body's natural defenses, natural sensitivity to be at the forefront. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm an empath. I'm an empath," and that's true that maybe some people are more receptive than others. But also, we all are to some degree. That is how humans have evolved. We need to be able to feel what's going on. We need to be able to feel each other. That's how we're able to co-regulate. That's how we're able to even speak with non-human beings. We have to be able to feel and to be felt. So center that, honor that as we're using the protection that OD is advising us toward. And then the last thing is two more things. OD, balance and reciprocity. What comes up with this for me is also learning how to navigate conflict, learning how to be in conflict. It is natural as we are tending to our relationships and making sure that there's balance between the give and take. Know that conflict is natural and it's healthy, even. It can strengthen those relationships. It can strengthen a relationship with yourself and your own boundaries. The only thing is, we just live in a culture that doesn't teach us how to get through conflict in a healthy way. For me, it is something I've had to actively study. It is something that I've had to look at people in my life who I think do conflict well. I've had to read about it sometimes. I've had to, breathe through it, meditate on it. It activates all kinds of stuff in this society that is used to shaming people, used to abandoning people. So when conflicts comes up, we can be like, "Oh no, this is the worst thing in the world." What does that mean about me? Or we easily get into the win or lose mentality, easily get into binary mentalities because we're gripped by that fear and anxiety in a society that hasn't taught us how to deal with conflict. So if that's you, like, really pay attention to how you do conflict, study it. Because there are times when there are people in your life who are meant to be in your life and you're just going through a difficult time. Sometimes you got to cut them off. Sometimes that's sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes there has to be some distance. And at other times it's just you maybe need to learn how to work through something that's uncomfortable. Maybe it's a growth point for both of you. And then the last thing for real is that Oya, there's a story about Oya in OD and about protection. This particular Itan says, "Too much kindness is repaid with wickedness." Too much kindness is repaid with wickedness. Don't be out here doing too much. In this particular story, there is a bird called kite. A kite is like a kind of bird of prey. It's kind of akin to maybe a hawk. And this kite had gone to a new town as a diviner and started helping all the people. This town before was experiencing famine, the women experiencing issues in childbirth, business is down. Kite comes in as a diviner and starts, telling the people what to do. They come and get divination. They do the recommended ebo, and things turn right around. Before you know it, the town is prospering. Children are being born healthy again. The crops are growing. Everything's abundant. The markets are booming. And instead of being grateful, the people went to the chief and said, "We don't know about this kite. Seems too powerful. How is everything going right since you got up in here? I don't know. What are you going to do about this, chief?" And so the chief, he has to listen. All the people are concerned about kite, and they're like, "You have to do something." So the chief says, "Okay, we are going to put kite through. He has to go. We're going to be burned at the stake, fire, with sentences to death by fire." So kite goes to his diviner and says, "Well, what should I do?" Diviner says to offer a bunch of things to Orisha, offer me buku cowries, offer me, all the regular hen and all of that, all the good things that I like. And most importantly, make sure you offer Oya a stone. Offer Oya a black stone. And so when the day came for this, trial by fire, Kite took the stone, took it in his mouth. And as the flames go up and Kite is forced to fly through them and probably be burnt up, Kite flies through the fire, drops the stone into the fire, and the fire parts and immediately dissipates. Oya sends a wind gushing through the fire. The people say, "What? How can that be? Go through there again." Kite flies through again, and once again, the flames just open right on up. And Oya would not let him be burned. So after that, the people say, "Okay, you have proved your power. We are so sorry. Obviously, this is a powerful conjure man, Kite, and we're sorry we messed with you in the first place." But part of the beauty of this story is that Kite did not protected himself. For one, went to the diviners and said, "What do I need to do to stay safe in this new town?" When trouble came, he said, "Okay, I'm going to go to divination again, and I'm going to actually do the protection work." But also, the whole time, Kite never came about his character. He to be himself. Didn't even have to fight. Didn't even have to do anything. And said, "I am living out my destiny. I know that if my Ori has decided this is what I am and this is my destiny and the deities agree, then none can come against me." So walk through the world with that attitude. Rely on your spiritual protection to fight that battle for you.
Sure.
And you won't even have to touch it. Stay within your destiny with your protection. And that is it for me.
I do play so much, my bole. Are there any book recommendations that you have as far as learning about conflict resolution? Put them in the chat for me, please. All right, let's move on to the next according to age. And while we're doing that, I'm going to put Iamina Minoqui's link in the chat so that if you need some more astrological divination, that you'll be able to get that.
That would be me. Next up in age, my name is Osunsoranti Osunjuade. I am your priestess of Obatala, with the pathway of Ogian, the warrior aspect of Obatala. So as Iya Ekundayo said earlier, those that know peace have mastered war, right? So I come and I walk with that energy. So the face may be peaceful. Sometimes it may look, little like that, but as I'm known, but it's still peace that leads that way for me. And these three energies that came down in the reading of the year, I have to say, before all of that came down, I knew it was going to be Baba's year.
Yeah.
He already said ahead of time. He's like, "This is it."
Yeah.
And I prepared for that with doing my own white bath right before the reading of the year. So it all came perfectly aligned for me. So when the three energies came down, I was not surprised either, because those are my three birth Odu energies that I'm constant in relationship with, right? And working with. So for me, OD was not a surprise, because OD is a mastering of that reciprocity piece that we tend to overlook when we have ourselves put in a certain position. Yeye is always reminding me that in OD, you are only assigned to mother the ones that you are meant to mother, right? Don't let everybody climb up under you expecting to be mothered. And this past year for me, leading into this year, I have been examining the eldest child position that I'm in. I'm the eldest daughter of my mother, which typically turns into the second mother, right? So where I was just like, I'm not mothering all these people out here. I'm not doing all of that with all these, but I was, because I was acting as the eldest sister to these people that were not looking at the relationship or the friendship as a reciprocal relationship. They were looking at it from the dynamic of the elder sibling and the younger sibling. So the younger sibling gets everything, right? They get the hand-me-downs and things like that, but they get the blessing of the lessons that were learned by the eldest, right? On how the way to navigate life. Let me ease these things for you. You get the easy stuff. Like in my house, me and my brother washed all the dishes, wash, dry, put away. We moved out. My baby sister got a dishwasher installed.
Every time.
Every time. So understanding that reciprocity piece in OD also doesn't mean just romantic relationships or people that we put in those partnerships, that like divine partnership relationships. Friendships are also divine relationships that we have to understand reciprocity comes in, and not allowing yourself to be maintained and kept in the position of being the eldest to the younger, right? Or that the wave of that reciprocity is balanced and equal. To what you need, right? Don't just accept anything. Don't just think it's okay to receive, oh, they throw this out, they throw that out, and that's reciprocal. That isn't. You speak up for yourself and what looks like balance. Speak up to yourself what feels like it's a reciprocal relationship. So I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from whenever OD shows up, right? Like, how much emotional bandwidth am I giving to this? How much spiritual bandwidth am I giving to this? How much just physical bandwidth am I giving to this? And is it being matched in kind in the relationship? It's okay to expect certain things in a relationship. It doesn't have to look the same, right? It doesn't have to be tit for tat, as in you gave me a candy bar, I'm going to give you a candy bar type thing. Right. But is it balanced in the sense when you need it? Is there a listening ear when you need the listening ear? Is there a hand on the shoulder when you need comfort? Right. That type of balance. That's longevity in relationships. And we want longevity in relationships. I want to be able to say I've been friends with somebody, true friends with somebody for 30 plus years, right? Or as long as it needs to be. I don't want it to feel transactional in the sense that like I'm outputting all of these things. And where's the piece where I'm receiving as well? Mm-hmm. So OD for me is that OD is also where, understanding that protection piece, like everybody's spoken on heavily. I wake up with prayers of protection over me and mine. I go to bed with prayers of protection over me and mine. And just navigating what that looks like. And I think in my journey as an initiate, it really has helped me understand that true protection looks up the street and around the corner, right? That discernment piece of I'm expanding my lens to include all of the battlefield or all of the playing field, right? However you want to look at it. It's not just what's 2 steps in front of me. So making sure that what is up there can meet me where I need it to meet me, so that I'm not taken out of character. I'm not frazzled by anything that may occur. It's all coming into that piece, that place of just clear discernment. Let's see what else. Oh, the OSE part. The OSE of making sure that you allowing what may seem as an outlier to be your strong suit. That includes your neurodiversity, right? People that may look a certain way, but you everybody, to me, as I walk through life, I look at people, they're probably neurodiverse, right? Mm-hmm. All of us are. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly acceptable. That's perfectly normal, right? I think there are far less neurotypical people than there are neurodiverse people in that sense. So walking and understanding that is your connection to the divine just as much as what anybody else says is your connection to the divine. It doesn't come through a typical way. Your gifts do not come through a typical way. So why would you think that you have to be typical to receive those gifts? Mm-hmm. So the embracing of that, and of course, Baba rules all the heads that are seen like other, right? That are seen as different. So bringing that coolness in to say, you're okay, you're good. You don't have to think like everybody else. You can take a different pathway into this. You can accept that those parts of yourself that you may feel like, oh, this would be embarrassing if I say it out loud. Say it out loud. And I speak to myself when I say that, because I'm like, I swirl sometimes. Like the thoughts will be thoughting over here. Like everybody's like, oh, how did you get to that conclusion? Well, this is how I got there, because I've opened myself up to a multitude of different ways of communicating, being a diviner, being a clairsentient, knowing that what I'm feeling is a way of communication, so that I can't limit that by trying to stay in the standards that society has set for me, because society standards weren't meant for any of us.
True.
What else was I gonna speak on? The divine Black feminine energies always being paramount in what we align ourselves, what we take care of, what we tend to. I forgot who said it. I think it was maybe Iamina, like tending to our grandmothers and tending to the children, tending to everyone that's around us that needs their support. The elders and the babies are the ones that, they're coming in and going out, right? So those entry points closest to the portals deserve to be taken care of and tended to, so their journey can be as sweet as possible for as long as possible as they return back in and come back out. So I think that's really important as well. So I think just following up also the protection piece, spiritual protection. If you don't work with camphor, get to know camphor this year for yourself, for that protection over your mind, protection over yourself as you astral project and astral travel. If you are a dreamer like myself, I feel like I do most of my best work in the astral plane. So make sure to have that glass of water next to your bed with that camphor cube in it. I like to also steam my house with camphor. Camphor is a regular thing in this house. It's also very calming and settling. So as we're working with that Oya energy, which big ups to my Ibejis, and that transformation energy, we want to have that cool and settled head. So as we work through that transformation, camphor water is like the number one thing that I would say have on deck. It's great to go to sleep to. It's very settling. My grandmother used to have a lot of camphor in the house. So for me, it's like double duty. So it's that just that comfort of my grandmother, but then also it's that protection piece as you're going to sleep at night, so that you can come back safe and balanced and just, okay, I'm ready for this. I think, Ekundayo, you didn't touch on CPR, but maybe if you can come back on later on about that. But I think revocations are important, right? Head washings are important this year. And again, camphor water. That's my biggest gift, the camphor water on deck all throughout the year, just so that you can have that peace of mind to know how to navigate transformation as it comes and as you need it to.
Ranti, somebody is asking in the chat if anybody sells white baths. Do any members of the Priestly Council sells white baths? I know that you do have some bath options. Is white bath one of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. I do it in liquid form or in dry form.
Okay.
But I do, if I can toot my own horn, my liquid one is the best one. It's amazing.
And if you scroll up, I have linked Ranti's store and site, so you can get it there. If you're here in Georgia, I highly recommend coming to the store, because the vibes are cleansing and uplifting as well. If not, go on, get it through the site.
And when you open your box, you'll feel like you're at the store.
Exactly.
Lots of people say that, so you can definitely do it that way. But those are my gifts for this reading of the year. I really appreciate all that you do, Yeye, for all of us, and bringing this all together.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all deeply, deeply, deeply. I could not have dreamed. Y'all are beyond my wildest imaginings. I say it all the time, And I know I'm always speaking very flowery, but y'all know that I choose my words carefully. So when I say that, I mean every word of it, every letter of every word. You all are beyond my wildest imaginings, and that is the truth. So thank you so much. That was Ioranti. As I was saying, Ioranti does have a magnificent spiritual store here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And she also has a website. Both of those things are already in the chat. For any spiritual and metaphysical needs, this is who I am going to recommend right off the bat, right off the top of my head, right? So anything that you have that you need when you're here, when you're not here, please go and get those things from Ioranti. All right, who is up next? I think it's Iabumi, but like I said, I'm bad with that.
Yes, that would be me.
All right.
Greetings, my siblings and my mom. I love you all, and um, I'm so blessed. Talk about dimension hopping. Um, what a revelation to be in the presence of you and to hear of your wisdom and to share this life experience with you. Um, you're who I've been waiting for. So, as far as the reading for the year, coming from the spirit of I am Ia Buni Oyasemi Ayekuto. I am a priestess of Oya and very aware this time of year, this renewal time of year, impressed several things upon me. Oya was trying to tell me as the Yuletide season began to remind all of us of several things, and they did come up in the reading of the year. So, from the process, from the view of Osei, she encourages me to let you know that you not only do not have limits, but you shouldn't have any worries either. You shouldn't be sitting there worrying about how this is going to happen, how that's going to happen, how it's going to turn out. Um, Take each opportunity, however it runs, to make it a positive move for your life. Um, find that aspect of it that triggers your destiny to improve. I need to, like the other EOs were saying, therapy is therapy. Go get that. Um, if you need to learn to listen, do that. It won't hurt. It's just the step you need to take to make your path sweeter. And remember, I know we're out here doing our thing and making things comfy and soft and plush, but you are still a warrior. You are in a war. So you're going to have to remember to, and you are not the victim of this society. So you're going to have to keep that warrior attitude. You're not a victim. You're not shut out. You're not.
Sure.
None of that is you. None of that is you. Keep the warrior spirit invigorated inside of you. Let it burn. Let our ancestors who fought the good fight and who died fighting it inspire you to keep the warrior spirit alive. We have a long way to go. I was reminded in the notes of other things that it was Metahochi that would come to me. And between Metahochi and Oya, we got 600 more years before we're going to get to bliss in this creation. We have to keep feeding our presence, our future, be reminded from our past that this is for the long world. You got to stay warrior like. You got to stay frosty and pass that on.
Yes.
And fight your corner all the time. From the view of OD, yes, protection is protection. Oya reminds us that we may get lax in all of our predetermined rituals. We may
and I don't want to say lazy, I just want to say that we miss the opportunity to do it like this, do it like that, and wait for the outcome. We get a little lax, a little behind. But flip the script, create a new ritual. If it's up to you to remind yourself that how sweet the waters are from Oshun and Oyemenya and Oya, remind yourself of that while you're drinking your first glass of water in the morning.
Sure.
Remind yourself of that while you're taking your shower. Do whatever it takes to skip out of this mess here and into the panacea that we have that provides us calm so that we can think our way out of this bag.
Sure.
That's what the power of these rituals are, to get you to move away from a mindset of got to be there, got to do that, got to be here, got to do that, got to show up, got to be here, all of that, into me, I'm already here. Say your affirmations in that part of yourself that allows you to meditate for a moment and be who you completely are. Give that gift to yourself. Practice centering and grounding daily. Connect to something cleansing, like I said, with your water or your drink or your anything that gives you your incense, your candles. If that's what it takes, set an atmosphere. And if it's only for 5 seconds on your way out the door, smell that incense as you leave.
Sure.
And I too endorse our CPR. So even if you don't have a lot of herbs, get that cold bowl of water and honor your Ori with it on your way out the shower, just so you can be grounded for that second. Fight for the opportunity to be all that you can be. From that perspective of my dear Oya, keep your light on. You know her as the guardian of the cemetery, and some of you may vision the headstones and the grass out there. But I want to let you know that you walking in the cemetery. This place is dead. This place is dead. You the only thing living out here. You the only thing living out here. You got spirits, you got angels, you got powers, you got Orisha. You have the cosmos backing you up. You the only thing out here alive.
Sure.
You in the cemetery, honey. So you embrace that Oya energy as you walk through this place. For them that don't know, those babies, that's who you love it on, because they don't know yet. And you want to provide them with all of the strength that they can have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. For them about to leave, they know, and let's hope that they're not sorrowful, that they gave a good part, that they did a good work. You do your good work so that you can leave this with a better spirit here. Because you the only thing out here alive. Know who you are. We were talking about relationships and about balancing things and about getting the help that we need to get. Know who you are and what your limitations are. When you ask for a thing, jump in a thing, sign up for something, or a part of something, recognize what you can and cannot add. And if you can add something, do that. If you cannot, step back. Because there may be something there for you. But know your limitations. That's getting to know you is what all of this is about. We can pray into the Ori. We doing these rituals. We stepping up. We moving out. It's all about you. What do you have on the inside that the communities can use? So get to know you.
Yes.
From my beloved Obatala, sit in the white light. We know that this world will challenge us. And I remember that Yeye gave me the encouragement when I was struggling with jealousies on the last job I had, was to envision that white light before I even opened my eyes in the morning. To sit in that white light. Because we all need that. The heat of Oya is definitely calmed by Obatala, and we have to remember to bring that in with every situation, because I'm in a minute I will jump to not being to defensive mode. Yep. In a minute I will jump to get off me or let me go. Bye. But I need that cooling energy to actually work through something sometime. Sometimes you got to live through it.
Yeah.
In order to get the lesson.
Thanks.
Now, one last thing. In order to honor our indigenous heritage, we must pay attention this year, because that Buffalo woman is not in the mood to be ignored anymore. Just not having it.
No.
So you're going to have to use some tobacco to sprinkle with your ancestors.
That's right.
You can burn, you can offer corn, and you can put feathers on your altar. But you're going to have to acknowledge you're walking on their land.
Yes.
Wherever we came, we were brought here. They traveled here hundreds and hundreds of years before we were ever here. They were established. This is their land.
Sure.
So you're going to have to do that. But also, from our own ancestors' point of views who came here and have lived here, as you acknowledge in the modern mind, you're going to have to set it in your mind to own some land. You're going to have to grow up and stop apartment hopping. You're going to have to stay with a thing long enough to have some credit in order that you can own some land.
Facts.
You're going to have to make a plan. You're going to have to be somebody.
Sure.
You're going to have to adult.
Woo!
So from that perspective, you have to establish it in your own mind that you're going to be a homeowner or a landowner, a farm owner. You're going to take a possession, a piece. It's your piece. Since you don't think living over here, get you a piece. Okay? lastly, I wanted to remind you that I am available for you as we walk through the symptoms of living in a cemetery.
Ashe.
Some of you are dealing with grief. Some of you are dealing with loss of loved ones. And I am more than happy to walk with you. I'll be your companion
Ashe.
to absolutely pray, absolutely hear you. If nobody else is listening, I'll listen. Yaya has my information. She could give it to you just to let you know you're not here alone. We're here and we're going to help because we got a long way to go.
Ashe. I do put Iabumi. I have put Iabumi's information in the chat, her email address, so that you can get in touch with her if you need assistance as we navigate this particular time and space. All right, who is up next? All right, come on in. Come on in.
Timely. He actually would be the youngest of this next set.
He would.
when we were being initiated. So I'm gonna let him speak and then I'm putting him back out so that y'all can hear the rest of what I have to say. So you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hey, baby.
You got any words, anything positive you want to say or share with everybody?
What can I say?
What do you think? What do you feel in your heart? What do you think they need to know today to make sure they have a good year?
I want to lift my body so I can feel hot and sunlight and not catching a cold.
Okay.
Very true.
Not catching a cold. Y'all heard that. All right. You feeling your heart in your body. Make sure you okay. So they don't catch a cold this year. Beware. Be mindful of sickness and stagnation, the brother says. Okay. Anything else? Any other word? I know that's right. Mommy always do that when I'm feeling the spirit. I'll get the head nod. You did the head nod. All right. Tell everybody Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey, thank you for the words, Baba Juju. All right, let me put him out here. I'll be right back.
All right. The illustrious Baba Juju received Oshun in utero, as is our tradition.
Listen, okay. So he don't get sick, all right. But greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
So joyful, and I'm telling you, it's always you always know when Oshun is present, because then the waterworks get to start. And I'm telling you, I've been over here shouting in this seat. Y'all have been sharing and giving so much. I prayed for sisters when I was a little girl. I wished I had sisters, and I have so many. I cannot literally cannot even count.
Ashe.
And I'm so thankful.
Ashe.
I'm so thankful. I have a couple quick notes, then I'm gonna get into what what I have in regards to the reading. So there's a couple things, and it's funny as you all were talking, and you know how this works. You hearing other people speaking on things that you had kind of taken notes on. So as far as honoring the indigenous ways, what that how that translated to me is making sure that we are replenishing the earth. And when I say the earth, I speak of these earth suits. We are the earth, right? So as with indigenous ways, when you get what you need, you give thanks and you replenish. So how are you thanking your body? How are you thanking your body for the ways that you tax it daily, for the way that you extract from it daily, for the way that you utilize it daily? How are you thanking your body? And then how are you replenishing what you have taken? If you go out and you get something from the garden, you thanking the earth for those tomatoes, you thanking the earth for those herbs, you thanking the earth for those fruits. How are you thanking you for what you're picking and plucking from you every day, what you allow others to pick and pluck from you daily? How are you replenishing your earth? All right. Are you taking your supplements? Some of them aches and pains is a vitamin D3 deficiency. I'm going to tell you.
Come on through with it now.
You can burn all the sage in the world, but if you need some D3, baby, you just need the D3. You just need the D3. It's valid. It's still valid. You know what they say sometimes in the church, they used to say, sometimes you can get so heavenly minded that you know earthly good. Okay, so all of those things are important and they're valuable and they're valid and they are so instrumental. But 10 toes on the ground, we got these earth suits we got to maintain so that we can carry out our divine purpose and our spiritual work while we are here. How are you replenishing your earth?
Sure.
Get you some supplements, y'all. Take your vitamins, drink your water, get your rest. We have that's basic maintenance, just as important as washing your head and washing your ass. Come on, Egutola, washing your ass. You wouldn't go without. Don't go without your vitamins either. This world is taking too much from us.
Sure.
To not be consciously, regularly putting it back in, and that's we take that one. Also speaking on one of our overarching energies of the year, Obatala, the white cloth. Now, those of us who have initiated into the priesthood, we know about some white cloth. We know about some white cloth. Watch how you move. White cloth will teach you to watch how you move. Okay, and be aware of transfer. Okay, when you got on that white, you're not gonna just sit any old where. You're gonna look for that's gonna stain to me. That's gonna put a stain on my cloth. I can't. I'm not gonna rub up against that. Let me watch this wall because it's gonna put a stain on me. Do that when you're moving around people, because they might put a stain on you. Something might transfer. Something might rub off on you. Guard yourselves as if you are covered in white cloth.
No. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, so beware of transfer and watch how you move. Now, let's get on into O'Shea. All right, so I'm gonna start with this one. Now, y'all know I'm silly and I love music. So there was 2 songs that came to my mind. I'm gonna just, that song, hang a sign up on the door saying don't disturb this groove.
Yes.
So y'all know that one. And then it's a groove thing. It's got a funky swing.
Yes.
Oh, it's a groove thing. Okay. Hey, make sure your neck do that when you sing it or you ain't doing it right. Okay. So be mindful. Watch, you know how river water makes her own groove. She makes a way out of no way. She will carve her own path. Okay, she makes her own grooves and through the process of erosion. And you got to remember, erosion is like a conversation. It's a very, very give and take. It's very persuasive how the water goes to the earth or to the mountain or whatever it is that she's trying to carve her way through. And it's a negotiation. Like, okay, I'm trying to get through here. I see you, but you're not gonna stop me though. I'm gonna get through here. Let me take a little bit of this rock away. Let me take a little bit of this dirt away. And over time, I'm going to carve my groove because this is the way that is meant for me to go. And I am going to carve it myself if it does not already exist.
Ashe.
So don't let them disturb your groove. You carve you one if you damn need to. Carve your groove. Okay. And in the space of sensuality and not focusing on external pleasure of others, but activating all of your senses, keeping yourself turned on, keeping yourself aware and awake that you exist and that you are here. This is also a grounding practice, remembering that you are here and how you care for yourself. And Oshun is one. You will know that she was here. You will know she was there. Okay. You gonna see me. You gonna see me. I was here. I existed on this earth. I was here. I was valuable. I was important. Okay, you gonna see me. So that light, that brightness, that warmth, stay away from, really dark colors. If you normally wear a lot of black because of your figure, baby, go on and stick that to the back of your closet. Bring out that light, bring out that warmth, because you are here. Every bit of you is here. Bring it to light, lighten it up, brighten it up. Show it. Do not hide it. Do not shroud it. Do not cloak it. Unless you in a situation where you need to be stealthy. I don't know how y'all, I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all might have little things that y'all into, that you might need a little stealth every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Let me stay out your business and how you getting your bread and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, outside, I got to black nobody from getting their coin, how they need to get their coin, okay? But outside of that, okay, bring it into the light. You gonna see me, okay? Those primary colors of Oshun, they borrow from rays from the sun, that amber, that gold, that yellow, that orange. And not saying that you have to necessarily wear those colors, but like very intentionally, it is very warm and light and inviting and bright and very like, I'm here, you gonna see, you gonna know I was here. And mind you, everything I'm speaking is not about others seeing you. You to remind yourself that you are here.
Yes.
Remind yourself, I am here. I showed up. Ia always say, hey, you incarnated, you showed up. You made your contract to get in this game of life, so play it.
Right.
You here, play the game. You here to play the game. Show up. Show up. Come on in here. Come on, get some of this. Come on and get some of this. Show all the way up for yourself. Okay, at this time. Keep the energy light. You gonna smell me. Okay, we already went through. You gonna see me. You gonna smell me. You know what I mean? What the scent that I leave, and whether that's like a physical fragrance, like a perfuming on your body. Because you got to remember, people can smell stank too. And you know how that I like, oh, her attitude stank. Ooh, sweetness. Like you know them folks, them aunties, them women, you just smell them walking by. I don't even know who was in here, but I smell her. She was here. Who was that? That was because I smell it. I still smell it. So what kind of scent are you leaving in the room? What kind of scent are you bringing into the room? You know what I mean? Physically and metaphysically, what kind of scent are you bringing with you? And that goes back to what Sis Nim was saying. Keep your ass and your head clean. Keep your energy clear, okay, so that you can keep yourself light. Okay. And then that also goes into, the smells in your home, your food. Because you can tell when you walk into a home and somebody been cooking, somebody made some greens, and it's like it carries you. It carries you on through, and it's a pleasant smell. Do that for yourself. If you have not been able to cook as much, get into firing up a crock pot in the morning before you leave the house. You ain't got to stand over no stove hurting your feet and your back trying to make a meal. Get you some real quick crock pot meals, just because you deserve to smell like, for your home to smell like somebody thought enough about you, and your home is filled with those good smells when you come in the house. And the relief that comes from knowing that it's already handled. You come in and that dinner's already done. The relief, the exhale that you get to take, because you coming in the, oh, damn, that's right, I already cooked. Yes, it's already handled. So gift yourself that. Gift yourself that. We use our pots to stir up and conjure up lots of things. Go on and use them crock pots to conjure you up a nice meal too, because that's important. That's valid. That's valid. We can't always be so heavenly minded. We got to be earthly good too. You can't be, starving or shoving whatever you want all in your mouth and then think you're going to have the energy to fully execute your destiny on the highest level that is meant to be executed. So make sure that you think about yourself, because you are here. You are here and you deserve it. You are worthy. You are worthy of good, wholesome ingredients. You are worthy of the thought and consideration. Okay, if you ain't got nobody cooking for you, cook for yourself. Throw it in there in the morning, and the crock pot will cook it for you. So that, also with our flavor palettes, you gonna taste me. How do I taste? Not just down there. I know it's a whole nother class on that that I don't teach. But several people got classes on that. I'm not talking about that specifically right now. But the things that you're tasting, introduce your palate to something new this year. All the places and spaces that water moves and travels all around the world. All these colonizers use the water to go sail and gather and steal and collect all these herbs and spices. You have access. The waters have brought you many flavors. Explore them. Honor the ways that water has aided in bringing that to you. And make sure you're doing that. More juicy, sweet fruits, just to remind yourself who you come from. Remind yourself of your source. Whether you vegan, vegetarian, whatever you eat, that's your business. Okay, what you eat don't make me shit. All right, so whatever you eat, that's on you. I would just say more juicy, sweet fruits, just to remind yourself. It's a ritual. That's some work. That's some work to taste. Okay, that eating meditation, you just take your time with it a little bit too, and just really savor and appreciate the flavors and the juiciness and the sweetness and all of the benefits from eating sweet, juicy fruits. What it's doing to your body, healing you from the inside. We got a very practical year. Okay, we got some practical things to do to help us achieve these destinies. And it also going to keep your energy up, eating those fresh, juicy fruits and those wholesome things, and like treating yourself in decadence. Because y'all know how much them groceries cost when you in the good section of the health food store. Them fresh produces and all of that. It costs money for a reason, because it's valuable. Valuable. Okay, and you deserve that value to grace and bless your tongue and your body. Let it do for you what it came to do, and energize you. Okay. And so we went through, you gonna see me, you gonna smell me, you gonna taste me, you gonna feel me. I like the way you move. I like the way you move. Ooh, you gotta hit that little ooh, gotta hit that part. Okay. But dancing, and then when Yeye said, Oya brought dance to the earth, and I just see Oshun and Oya just twining together, twirling together, and picking up that momentum and bringing that just whoosh. Just do something, swirl, do some body rolls, do something every day. Yeye spoke on this when she gave the reading. So, just imagine yourself doing full out movements though. Some of y'all known for a cute little two-step. You get you a cute little two-step in. No, full body movements, because that's what's going to keep your blood moving. That's what's going to get your heart rate up so you can sweat out the toxins and impurities. That little cute little two-step is not going to do what it needs to do to reset your nervous system. That little cute little two-step ain't going to do what it needs to do to clear out your lymphatic system and move them fluids and get that fluid up off your ankles and carrying on. You got it. So full out movements when you move, even if you got to do it by yourself when ain't nobody looking. But you move, you do your thing, okay, with whatever rhythm you got, whatever kind of rhythm you was given. Everybody ain't got the same rhythms, but whatever rhythm you got, use that. So movement, your touch, also your embrace, how you're embracing yourself, and be selective with your connections. Be mindful of how magnetizing your touch is. Everybody don't get none. Everybody don't get none. You're gonna mess around and be wondering why you know what I'm saying? You got some little scragglers who won't let you loose. You won't turn you loose. What did you done get? But what you think? What you think was gonna happen? So be more selective. Everybody can't have none. And remember how healing your touch is. Laying of hands. Lay them on yourself, your babies. Lay hands. Even distance. Get into a little Reiki. I don't teach the class. Somebody in here do. Raise your hand in the comments. Okay, if they need to go, yeah, come on. Somebody need to come to you for a session or for some training. If y'all do certified, get into using these healing hands that we have, because that healing touch, they're gonna feel, they're gonna know that you were here and how you make them feel. How'd you make you feel? Okay, you gonna hear me. Okay, we done went through all the little senses, so now we on you gonna hear me. All right, speaking life, speaking truth, speaking with authority. Okay, keeping that honey on your tongue, because you catch more flies with her. I don't know who want to catch flies per se, but to keep them away from other stuff that you don't want the flies on. Put a little honey that go over there, and that diverts them away from the other things that you don't want the flies on. But you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Your adornments, make some noise. Make some noise. They gonna hear you when you coming in and out the room. They gonna hear it. But this is also an amulet. This is the bells. This is the chime. This is just as good as this right here.
Amen. Ashe.
You can invoke. Okay, because this a bell too. This a chime too. So you might be out somewhere. You might not keep with you all the time. This might stay on your altar. But guess what? You got you a little mobile device. This is your cellular. This is your mobile device to call up and tell her what you want. Okay, so ring the bell, ring the alarm. Okay, that's a good song now. So ring this, and then also to keep away if you feeling your energy feeling funky, you need to just let's just clear this air. Let me just clear this space. Okay, so this is a tool, and it's cute. Look at that dual function, multi-purpose. Because our ancestors was wise, okay, and they believed in functional things. But you are here, your singing, your laughter, okay, the sound of your voice through the power of Oshun is an enchantment. It's an incantation. It is the way of making an exchange smooth that for others would be rough. So you using your word, that power, that afo-ashe, the power of the spoken word with that honey on your tongue, and it's an enchantment. It's you can talk your way into stuff. You can talk your way out of some stuff if you use the power of the spoken word. So make sure in the sound of your voice, it matters and it's important. So just be mindful of the words you are choosing, the manner in which you are speaking, and the words that you're speaking to yourself when nobody's looking. Those internal voices. We want to, keep our heads clear and make sure that we are feeding and speaking to ourselves those good and empowering things, and that truth. Because sometimes you might need to tell yourself some truths, and you should not run from those truths, because those are meant to bring you into the fullness of your whole self. Okay, and speaking of whole self, we get into Odadure. That is my favorite pataki. When went into that, I was still like a little kid, because that's my favorite story from my yay. I love that one. Love me some Odadure, because I dealt with a lot of depression when I was a young child. I was a parentified child. I was the eldest sister. I was the second mother. I was the one who took care of everyone else and always felt forgotten. And so I dealt with a lot. I didn't fully see myself as I was. And so, so there's many moments where I felt gray. I felt like the gray period. I felt gray. I felt gray. Felt great. And so that moment when she danced, okay, and show off the thing that you are most ashamed to show. I'm gonna tell y'all a little trick. This is just something I do. Y'all ain't got to do it, but this is something I do. Ever since I first heard that, there's a little something I always do. I ain't gonna show y'all, that's doing too much, but I got a special little pair of red panties.
I'll show. Come on with it.
Got them from Victoria's Secret, because when I was a little girl, you couldn't even look over there at that store without getting in trouble, because that's for grown women. That store is for grown. You ain't got no business in it. So it was a whole lot of So for me, it was empowering to just even go in Victoria's Secret to get the red panty. And then red panties, you can't have no red panty, no red lip. None of that. All that was too fast, too grown, whatever. Come on, red lip. Come on, see you. Hey, gonna go out. Me. Hey, red lips. Come on now. Hey, red glasses too. Red. Okay. But So I keep me some pairs of little pretty red panties, and you wear whatever you like. I got me a pretty little red thong, little lacy thong. I got a couple of other kind too. If you like your little G-string, little boy short, little boxer, you do what speaks to you, okay? Whatever your behind like. Okay, I know what my booty like. You get what your booty like. And but I keep me a little pair of red panties. And on a day where I have something big to do and I'm nervous, or on a day where my energy feels low and I'm just not feeling as radiant or as beautiful, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull out my red panty. I'm gonna pull out my red panty, okay, and put on my red panty and take on the world, okay? Put on the red panty, okay? So get your little pair of red panties, babies, and enchant them panties, and them your power panties, okay? Okay, that's your eau de durée. That's your eau de durée. That's your red tail feather. When you put it on, make sure you look back at it, because you need to see that red on your ass and remind yourself of the durée, okay? And empower and encourage yourself to take on the day and face whatever it is you need to face. All right, so that's a little something. All right, and I also perfume my cheeks on Red Panty Day too. Make sure I perfume the cheeks so when you shake them, it's fragrant.
Yes.
Okay, we just gonna keep it all the way real in here. Was y'all here for the truth or what? Y'all want me to sit up here front or what? Okay, I thought we was
here for the truth. We here for the show, Tito.
Okay, so that is some technology that I use, is a pretty red panty, to help liberate myself, just in the energy and spirit of eau de durée. But speaking on OD really quickly, so when we think of when we think of the ocean, now we talked about how Oshun carves a path and makes a way out of no way, and here you have the ocean, whose way has been prepared. Her space and place on the planet is carved out, and she sits in her throne, in her place, and rules from there. Her boundaries are clear. Iya oya bumi. I heard you. You know what I'm saying? About them boundaries. The ocean is clear about where she starts and stops, what's her territory and what is not. And she gonna rule from her domain where she is. I look at her like Big Mama sitting in that chair on the porch. Okay, that's her seat. Big Mama gonna sit on that seat and then direct from there. And okay, we'll go over there. Well, I need somebody to get up there and fix this roof. Y'all quit running over there. Okay, somebody go back in there and check that pot. She gonna sit in her chair on the porch and rule from there. The ocean commands in that way. She has a very, very set position. It's massive. Oh, it's massive. But it's set. Now, Big Mama got to come out that chair. Probably somebody finna get their ass whooped. So that's the balance between that nurturing and the discipline aspect of it. Okay. Now, just like with the ocean is in the ocean, but if the ocean never got to come up out the ocean, it's usually a tsunami or something. If the ocean had to get up out the ocean and come over there to address you, she not coming to talk. Okay, so you just make it very clear where your boundaries are. And if somebody make you have to get up out your seat and climb up out your throne, you make sure you setting things in order when you do so. Don't get up and play with them people. You put them in their place. Gather them together real quick and then go back and sit. Okay, and get right back to your lemonade, okay? Right back to your business. And just like with waves, they keep coming. All right, keep on moving. Keep on moving. Don't stop. No, now you got times where the waves are a little lighter. Okay. Then you got times where the waves are big and they're crashing. Okay. But the waves don't stop. Don't let nobody stop your wave. You keep moving. Keep moving. Even if you have like a little lighter movement that day, don't fault yourself for days where your movement might be more subtle. And you might be an undercurrent. Maybe can't nobody see what you're doing on the surface. That's okay too. That's a move. That's a tactic. That's a thing. That's valid. Okay. That's still movement. That's still movement. So honor whatever space and place your movement sits in at that time, and know that it's all valid, and it keeps and sets a pace and a rhythm for things. Okay, so keep that movement, because we know stagnant water begins to stink. It harbors bacteria, overgrowth, whatnot. It starts to stink. So keep that water moving. Keep yourself moving. Let's see. Had a couple more quick ones. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Capacity does not equal purpose. When, people drop pollutants in the ocean all the time, because I mean, it's so massive. You think like, oh, somebody think like, oh, throw in this little water bottle. That ain't gonna matter. The ocean is so big. It's not gonna matter that I dropped this little water bottle. And somebody else might say, oh, my little bag of chips might have fell down in there. Or, oh, this or oh, that fell in the ocean. It's But see, it disturbs the ecosystem over time. There's an accumulation of all the deposits of other people's trash in the ocean. Okay, because see, they confuse capacity with purpose. And what the ocean does over time, sometimes it takes a little while, but those waves, it's gonna move that shit out of her water. That's why you see all that trash washed up on the shore. Get all of that trash out of your water. Move that trash out of your water. Because what they did was they confused your capacity and your capability to hold their junk with that being your purpose. That's not your purpose. So move their trash out of your water. Move their pollution out of your water. Don't let people dump on you. Don't let people dump and just deposit and just leave. Just because you have the capacity, that don't mean that that's your purpose. So guard your purpose. Protect your purpose. And I think let me see. Yeah, that was it. We're gonna wrap it up right there. I think that was good enough. Get y'all some red draws, and I love you.
I do pray. Thank you so much, my long time sister friend. We done birthed and raised children alongside one another, and now here we still sit in the sacred circle. I am always blessed by your words. Thank you so much. It is such a joy and honor to sit with you and then to be able to learn from you. So I do pray. All right. Who is up next? I think it is.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I am so blessed to be a witness to the growth of Sweetwater Collective. The wisdom that we've shared for 2 hours on the line. Come on, y'all. I'm just grateful to be a witness to it, to be a part of. I am grateful to my OG, my elder, the limitless Eolosha. Yay. I thank you for calling us into this space, continuing to remind us of our limitlessness, and continuing to put us in position so that we can fulfill our destiny and be on our trajectory. When I'm thinking about O'Shea, when I'm thinking about OD, I'm reminded that first of all, I am Mambo Noli. I am an initiate of Azari Boshe, the new African Vodun of love, beauty, opulence, and revenge. And O'Shea to me in this time is telling me to get it how you live, right? I am an initiate of Azari Boshe. You ain't never heard of it until Sweetwater Collective, New African Vodun. And I am a descendant of the Ewefon. I am a child of Turtle Island. And so when it came down in the Idele reading that I am Ewefon, when it came down in my divination with Oshun that I was to be initiated into the mysteries of Odun, I had to get it how I live. This is how I'm living, right? And so people ask, how are you able to be a Vodun initiate in an Orisha house? And that's because Dahomey lives. I'm getting it how I live, right? You may never been to Dahomey. You may not know about it, right? But those of us who have, we know the power of getting how we live because Dahomey lives. When I think about O'Shea, I'm thinking about fall down for them to see. You got to get it how you live. This is a time to not judge yourself for what you think is a shortcoming because of what society says, right? So this is the time for the spicy workers, the hustlers, the ratchets, the hoochie mamas, The ones who are cast aside because you are somehow flawed, you don't fit into a box, a mold that is easily digestible and understandable. This is the year for you. Get it how you live. Ain't no shame in it, right? With all due respect to the divine feminine, all due respect to the women and femmes in your life, get it how you live with no shame, right? Because this is your path to freedom. This is your path to liberation.
Yes.
When I'm thinking about O'Shea, I think about um, one, when I am engaging with the Odu, because I am a Vodun initiate, and I'm still an apprentice, I'm still learning. Azuri ain't done working on me. And so I um, do my best to mirror the Vodun and the do when I hear the, deities of the year and the Odu of the year. So in the Marindi Lagoon, this Itan would be known as Oshun in the town of women, but I call it Azuri in the town of women. So, and the Azuri in that story, a part of it, and Ia teaches on this so well. You can go to her YouTube channel, one of her teachings on Oshun, she goes into this Itan. But the main point that I want to share today is that number one, victory is inevitable in O'Shea. You're going to be victorious. You know what I'm saying? And because this is the year of the siren, we got all the siren mamas. We're going to have to show up ready for battle, getting it how we live in the ways of the siren. So when Olodumare instructed Oshun to end the war in the town of women, she did it like a siren with a song and a dance. She shook the tail feather. You know what I'm saying? She got it how she lives. She wasn't trying to do it like nobody else. She's a warrior in her own way. So this is how I'm going to win the war. I'm going to win it with my, okay, with my two-step, my shaker, my bells, whatever it is that I have. And the pursuit of victory in this time is deeply connected to not judging yourself, not prejudging yourself, not judging, again, based off of the standards of what's normal, what's powerful, what's beautiful, whatever standard there is. Your victory is in you personalizing your lived experience. There is no other way. Your victory is your personal live experience. Your ability to experience love is a personal experience. And it's all about what you are doing for yourself, what you are pouring into yourself. And moving to OD, when we are talking about the need for protection, and we got OD last year. So I think it is beautiful that we got it again this year, because OD is one of those that speaks to our need to commit to something long term, right? So we are still working through what OD was telling us last year and then some more this year, right? So committing to the protecting of oneself. And when OD came down last year, um, my Bole spoke to this. You know, I was able to conjure up my protection based off of my lived experience, based off of my, excuse my French, fuck ups and failures. And so because I was able to sit with that, be honest with that, I'm able to speak directly to what it is I need protecting because I'm personalizing my lived experience, right? So I'm speaking directly to the spirit of Wahala or whatever it is that I know in this moment in time I need protection from. So I'm not doing general prayers. I'm not doing general things. I'm doing things for me in this time, right? Um, and I'm also casting protection over myself, knowing who I am. So I know the type of woman I am. I know what comes with that. I know what type of protection I need to cast around myself. OD is reminding us, you are the sun. You're the big, beautiful, bright, shiny thing, right? And as Yeye teaches us, you're gonna have adverse reactions to that. And so if I know that I'm the sun shining bright, I already know what that experience is going to be like for me out in the world. In order for me to have the best personalized life experience on the fulfillment of my destiny, I'm going to cast those personalized protections. Also last year, um, you know, I was really thinking about guerrilla warfare tactics because we in those times, I'm not going
Mhm.
to always have money for the bath, for the candle, for the oil, but I know how to
Mhm.
pray. I know how to cast
Ashe.
over myself, right? And I'm really connecting to the spirit of our praying warrior mothers who were casting shields of armor around generations of people just off the
Ashe.
prayer, right? So
Ashe.
this is that time as we are thinking about protection, personalize it. Hey, if you ain't got the coins, what you gonna do? Like
Mm.
Baba Metahochi said, dirt is enough if that's all you got. If all you
Ashe.
got is a breath to come up with prayer, that is enough. That has
Yes.
protected generations of people.
Yes.
That's enough.
Mhm.
Um, Speaking more to OD's commitment, as we're talking about building relationships, that requires commitment. My Bole spoke to this too. In learning how to navigate through conflict, that is a natural part of committing to relating to people, right? And I would say the protection that comes, or the protection that we should be administering in the time of OD when it relates to our relationships is, if I'm the sun, I'm relating to suns. I'm not relating to
Mm.
asteroids. I don't relate to comets. It's no shame or shade to you. You're just not the sun. And you play
Mhm.
the role of the asteroid and the comet, and that is fine, right? But the relationships that I'm building, that I'm leaning on for support to reflect the fullness of me, I'm looking for suns. I'm looking for other stars, right?
Ashe.
So those are the relationships that are worth investing in, worth navigating through conflict. Not every relationship is worth that, but it doesn't mean not every relationship is worth throwing away either. Like, there is, again, back to the boundaries. There are um layers and levels to which we need to be building our relationships, building our community. But regardless, it is something that is important because Ibukole spoke this to us twice, last year
See?
and again in this year.
See?
So that's something that is important for us to really lean into. And clearly we are given the time to do that work because it is real work. We are decolonizing when we're talking about building relationships, loving on ourselves. This is real hard work to do.
Mhm.
Tapping into the magical in the midst of navigating the mundane, that's real work.
Yeah.
And so praise the deities that we have the time and space to do that work. um, I'm also recalling what Yeye was saying in the reading of relating to OD, of remembering the work that your ancestors did, remembering the lives that your ancestors lived.
Ashe.
For us in the spiritual community, remembering the work of our spiritual elders, those who have gone on to the spiritual, who are now ancestors, remembering the work, specifically New African Vodun, remembering the work, the foundational work that our ancestors and elders have put in, that we are adding to and that we are taking to the future. And so being very mindful about that. As Iabumi said, we are not alone. In the midst of the graveyard, some of our ancestors, are the dead folks we walking around with.
Mhm.
So remembering that we have that undergirding. Um, Going back to protection and even relating this to O'Shea, I've been really thinking about um, the, and I guess this relates to Oya showing up as well, because there is the need to cloak ourselves in white, but there is a darkness that is evident in this time. If if Mother Oya is here with us. And that is beautiful. The darkness is beautiful. There's so much power in the darkness. And I'm referring to the darkness in every way you can imagine it. The dangerous darkness that people shun away. You know, there is power in that. There is parts of you in that. And when we are leaning into the dangerous darkness of reality, we can find peace with the dangerous darkness within ourselves. And that speaks more to the ability to love ourselves without shame, without judgment. You know, I know that there is a darkness within me and I love that part of me. And so therefore she don't rule me, but we coexist, we work together, and I can see the darkness out in the world. And, I can honor that too in whatever ways that darkness requires honoring. And so that's something that I am sitting with, that may, come up in others' reality this year. Thinking about our Ire coming through Erosun, what came to me is leave space for mystery, you know? Leave space for the unknown. There's so much of life that's like, I don't know. I'm surrendering. When Ia Leti Pero was talking about the river carving a path, sometimes you just got to surrender to the path of the river. I don't know the path that she's carving right now, but I know that I'm supported. I know that I'm completely undergirded. It's more water than it is anything else on this plane. So wherever she's taking me, I'm safe. Wherever I'm going, I am safe. And that's something to really, sit with, because it can be scary in the darkness of uncertainty, in the darkness of mystery, especially when we are connecting it to the mundane realities that we are navigating. It's so much mystery in this life right now. And that shit gets scary, but we are good. We are good. Continuing to surrender to the flow of the waters. You won't know what's next, and that's good. Continue to lay your offerings as the other priests suggested, continuing to stay up on your personal care, but we good. And as Ibukole said, regardless of what's happening out in the world, we have responsibilities. So get it how you live. Get it how you live. Period. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for staying up with us. And I pass it to my elder.
All right. Adupwe Mambo, always a joy to hear your voice and gaze upon your beauty and be in your presence. We are exceedingly blessed. And we will move on to the capstone. My EKK, my right hand. And I'm gonna pass it on over to you. And I'm putting EKK's info in the chat as she begins.
Modupwe. Yeah. Thanks for saying capstone, because it is Capricorn season. So, well, first, thank you to my elder for allowing me the permission to speak. I must first and foremost honor my Ori, my Say, my head for bringing me to this place and to this time. I give honor to the Ori of my godmother, my Yeye, the limitless Iolosha Oshun Yime Akalatunde. I honor all of the Ori and Say, as well as all of the lineages that are represented here tonight, whether they are on the video or watching the video live, or will watch the recording at some point later, or will replay and overplay and do all of the things. So all of the Ori and all of the lineages that are represented here. I also give praise and honor to all of the deities that have spoken through us tonight. Okay. So, first I started off in the room. The internet is wonky. Then I came out here. So if you can't hear me or anything like that, please let me know. But as I was preparing for tonight and figuring out where I was going to be, because y'all know Yeye Kari is very particular, I looked at this spot, this exact spot, And I was like, man, people going to be walking in and out of the room. Let me go in my bedroom. But here we are, right where I was supposed to be in the first place. So, I am Ia Keke, Ia Kekere, Oshunike, Orolade, Okuninka, Azado. And I am initiated into Oshun Yeye Kari, the owner of the mirror. And so she's very particular. And so she's like, I have some things that I want to say. So I have to say them all. So stick with me. So we're Oshe D in Ire Irosun, guided by Oya and Obatala. So Oshe speaks to the necessity of the work needed to break holds that various things have within our lives so that we can become empowered. So as the owner of the mirror, Yeye Kari is calling our attention in Oshe, the requirement of inward reflection. Of course, the owner of the mirror is always going to talk about inward reflection and taking assessment, not from a place of judgment or criticism of ourselves, right? We're not looking in and critiquing every little thing and judging all of the things that that are perceived as good, bad, or indifferent, but we are taking assessment of all of the things inside. So what does that look like? It looks like slowing all the way down, period. Slowing all the way down and asking yourselves the questions. Why do I want to wear this? Why do I react this way? Why do I want to be at this job? Why do I want to live in this place? Why do I feel the emotions that I'm feeling? Why do I want to create this piece of art? Why do I wear my hair like this? You know, we're asking why? We're asking all of the questions. Yeye Kari said that the why that we are getting down to the root with is it has to boil down to something that we are responsible for. It can't be, oh, I want to live here because my husband wants to live here. It can't be, oh, I'm reacting this way because such and such did this to me. It's something that you are responsible for. That is the root of self-reflection. It has to end with you. Now, I'm not saying that anybody is responsible for any harm or abuse that is coming to them. We understand that, but I'm talking about all of those other things, right? Ibukole told us last week that through Yeye, of course, that we are to love every aspect of ourselves. So Yeye Kari is saying to us tonight that in order to do that, we need to get to the root of our truest essence. And so there's a lot of things that we pick up as we go along in life that aren't ours, that do not belong to us. And it's not necessarily bad things. It's the beautiful things, like, oh, my friend said, oh, this would look good on me, so I bought it. But it's not me. It is not who I am. So she's asking us to really get down to the root and the essence of who we are so that we can show up as our fullest, most beautiful selves. The essence of ourselves is where the why is not predicated on self-abandonment, self-doubt, pointless competition, fear, or false layers of ourselves that were adopted out of necessity then, but are not able to come along with us on where we're going.
Where we are, yeah.
We need to understand that 2026 is a foundational year. Everybody knows 2026, 111. But it is a foundational year, and Oshe D is undergirding us with that understanding. Last year, we saw Ogun take his machete and cut down the jungle, all of the stuff that was before us. He cut down the jungle of chaos that Oya brought to us in last year's year of what? 9. So Oya brought a bunch of chaos, had trees fall. There was actually a tornado here in Michigan, and as I'm I moved back here. As I was driving back, I saw all of these trees just all over the place. And
Wow.
I envisioned Ogun coming in and cutting all of that out of the way, right? So Oya had to come in and pretty much destroy and take everything out. Now Ogun, before the end of the year, he came in and he cut us a path, because that's what he does with his machete, right? He not only protects us as a warrior, but he also clears the path. And so when he took he took his machete and cleared that path, it ushered in the ability for us to be able to walk into this new year, into that new energy of 2026. So, and just like last year, we are being carried deeper in on the winds of change in 2026. But this year, we must be anchored in ourselves. That's where we get the inward reflection, because we won't know our true selves if we're always looking at it from an outward lens. If we are always pointing a mirror on someone else, we are not seeing ourselves. We're not seeing our truest self. But this is the year we must be anchored in ourselves and not allow those old holds, those old chains to retain their grip on us. Yeye Kari wants us to ask ourselves these questions. Are we tending to our body, our personal avatar, our personal altars in a loving and caring way that would help to support us in all of our efforts throughout the year? Are we elevating a version of ourselves that no longer has a role in our lives today and simply cannot go where we are headed? So are we replaying the same old version of ourselves? Oh, I do this. I react in this way because this is how I was raised, because this is what happened to me, because of X, Y, Z. Are we replaying that same version of ourselves over and over again? That version cannot come with us anymore. Are we not supporting ourselves are we not supporting ourselves where support is needed? So that also means allowing for and asking for and accepting support from those around us. Are we making our needs and desires known to our families and our communities? If we don't make our needs and our desires known, how are we going to move within community? How are we going to have the reciprocal relationships that we desire, that everyone has spoken to? O'Shea, are we last week Ibukule reminded us that spoilers are heavy on the ground, right? They're thick on the ground. That's what Ibukule said through The Limitless, right? So Yeye Kari is asking us, where in our lives are we playing the role of spoiler instead of improver? O'Shea is Odu, in which Oshun speaks, of course. We know that. Oreyeyeyo. And yes, Oshun is the carrier and the epitome of beauty, and whatever form that beauty takes shape in, right? We heard earlier that there are many forms in which beauty takes shape. It is the beauty for you. But I know for a fact that Oshun will not stay in mess. So beautify ourselves from the inside out, so that she can stay with us on the inside out. OD, I like big butts and I cannot lie. I said, you want me to say that? Yeah. She said, yes, say it. She said, don't take nothing out. Okay, I like big butts and I cannot lie. So we know OD is representative of the body part of the buttock. We speak about it normally from the concept and idea of balance, but Yeye Kari is bringing the message of support when she is reflecting back on the buttock, because we are all sitting on our asses right now and she is supporting us and we love her and we're doing all of that, but we are also needing to walk in that expression of support throughout this year. Yay, Kari is also asking me to bring the message of protection this year. So protection in ways that are most beneficial to each of us individually. Once you figure out what is best for you, figure out what is best for you, then you must do that every single day. Every single day. I was born in OD Magick. OD Magick. And when that came down in 2018, and Yay said, you got to protect yourself every morning. I'm like, okay, yeah. No, every single morning. Why? Because just as O'Shea is calling for us to fall in love with the truest essence of ourselves over and over and over again throughout this entire year, through ongoing inward reflection, OD is calling for us to also allow the beauty of that essence to shine bright. So as we are falling in love with ourselves, we are getting to the essence of us. We are getting to the root. We are falling in love with ourselves. We are also needing to shine bright. Being a light force, you attract a lot. You attract the good, you attract the bad, you attract the indifferent. Y'all seen the light outside with all the things flying around it? You attract. Everything is drawn to you. So whatever shape that attraction takes, it is an energetic pull. Whether it is positive or it is negative, it is an energetic pull on your life force. And so the protection is to protect your life force. It is to undergird you every single day, not only from those forces of malevolence, but also for those good things, those things that are just wanting to be in your presence. It's an energetic pull. Protection here can also mean going back to the point of trauma so that you can rewrite the story, so that you are not the enemy that you need protection from. Since this Odu is the Odu in which you like that.
that hit home, but go ahead.
Okay, since the Odu is the Odu in which Yemoja speaks, we know that she is walking with us and holding us through those spaces this year. So as we are moving through the inward reflection, as we are moving through healing the points of trauma, she is holding us. She is rocking us and cradling us throughout this year. So look for her to support you through people. Look for Yemoja to support you through nature and through communication, through your own Ori, your head. So she is here to support you in all those ways. The composite Odu of Oshe D is telling us that this year we will be breaking the hold of various things that had a hold over us in order to become empowered. But in order to do that, we will need support. So we have the breaking of holds in Oshe, and then we have the support that is coming through OD, and through Oshe D, the support is coming to help break those holds. So with the Ire in Irosun, it's reminding us of the need for strong foundations. I mentioned earlier when we first started that this is a foundational year. So this Odu, Irosun, is represented by 4 open mouths. And so when I think of 4, I think of the 4 parts of human energy: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So ensuring that we have a strong foundational ground on all 4 points of our human energy: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It also reminds me of 4 corners of a solid foundation. So stability, effort, discipline, and practicality. So speaking as 29-degree Capricorn. We're talking about stability, effort, discipline, and practicality. And I think there's a little Saturn influence in there. Amina, you correct me if I'm wrong, but if I recall. So okay, thank you. So those 4 corners, that is what is bringing our E-ray this year. That is what is bringing our blessings. The foundation, the strong foundation that we are able to stand on is what we're going to be able to stack our blessings on, right? What we're going to be able to move with confidence in. Because, as was mentioned, we don't get comfortable in E-ray. We don't say, oh, we're in E-ray and just let everything just go. No, we have to continue to move and to honor the energy of what is bringing that E-ray. So the foundation, and of course, our most important foundation are our ancestors and our Egun that are always wanting the best for us. They are the ones that made it possible for us to be here. They are the ones that survived in order for us to thrive. They are the ones that made it away. They are why I'm sitting in this house. They are why we are able to breathe and move and exist. And so we want to always support our relationship with our foundation in some way throughout this year. Irosun carries a lot of energy that requires specific direction. When I fall in Irosun, all I know is that things are going to pop off and I got to be able to know where to point the gun or point whatever it is, the direction of where I want things to go. Otherwise, it's like a water hose. Have you seen a water hose just kind of like nobody is holding it? It's kind of going all over the place. That's how I imagine Irosun. And so even though we are in E-ray, we need to make sure that the energy is being directed in the areas that we want to take them, which is why that discipline, that foundation, that effort, that practicality is so important, because it allows you to move with intention. Yes, the energy in this reading is such a beautiful energy for me personally, as all of my loves, is what I call them, all of my loves are standing up for us this year. Yemoja and Obatala brought me to the door. Oshun picked me up, and it is Oya that is carrying me on her winds of change for the rest of my life. Obatala here is reminding us to have su'uru. But this year, specifically su'uru and patience with ourselves. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing with ourselves, and we have to be patient with ourselves. We're not always going to hit the mark. The people around us are not always going to hit the mark. We're not always going to hit the mark that we think we're supposed to hit. And people around us are not always going to hit the mark that they think we're supposed to hit. But we are still moving, and we are still winning. We are still doing the things that need to be done. And Oya. Whoo! I love me some Oya. Man. I
Me too.
love. And I think I know. Yaya Kari wants me to give the song Lady Lady by Olivia Dean as medicine this year for us. So if you don't know what it is, look it up, put it in your playlist, put it on your list of things to do. And at any time you're going through moments of change, turn that on. Put it on repeat if you need to. But that is a dose of medicine that is going to be able to get your mind, quicken your mind, and get you to where you need to be throughout this year. It is a reminder that Oya has a master plan. And even though you may not understand, that lady, she's the man. And they got you.
Don't do pray. Ashe. All right. We have come to the end. We have tarried for the spirits, and we know that we will all be blessed in this tarrying. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I remember as I'm sitting here with you guys and listening, I remember readings of the years past where I would be in the circle of my Orisha family, of my New African Vodun family, of my elders, and we was all, speaking, and the information that was received, became the guiding points for the life that I now live. So I don't want anyone in the audience or those of us who are on the panel either to take any of this for granted, right? You will be ruminating and reminiscing back on this for the rest of your life, right? Decades and decades from now, you're going to say, oh, I remember when my sister priest or my sister priestess said this, and now I see that, right? And you'll be able to share these things with other people. So moments like this are essential, not only for community building, but they are essential for propelling your destiny forward, right? Don't forget the moment. Don't take the moment for granted, and understand that you're going to be sitting here like me, and all of this is going to be coming back to your mind. Oh, yeah, I remember sitting in a circle and us getting this wisdom. Because as Arumala told us, he does not bless people singly, that we must gather together like trees do to form a forest. People are blessed in groups. So I can have an interpretation, but hearing everyone else's interpretation really cements the information in my mind in a different way. And the pieces of it that I didn't think about, somebody else thought about. I was like, oh, that's right. Not to mention everything that you guys said, I've been thinking about. It's been coming to my mind. Oh yeah, I remember. And y'all are now speaking to it tonight. So the connection is always beautiful. So I'm grateful to each and every one. If you are a member of the Sweetwater Collective, if you have questions for any of the Priestly Council, please go to our WhatsApp group and put those questions there. If you want to give offerings, as well you should, to any member of the Priestly Council, please go to WhatsApp, get their information so that you can send them offerings for this offering that they have given to you this evening, where they have set and given you their ashe and their time and their attention. All right. Love to each and every one. Love to everyone in the replay, people in the future. We know that the future is fire because Oshun told us that it was going to be. So hey to y'all too. Hold on. How do you get in contact for information about New African Vodun? You can reach out to me at gottobeorshun@gmail.com and ask any questions that you have about New African Vodun. All right. Well, that is it. If you're in Sweetwater Collective, you should already be in the WhatsApp. If you're not and you're in Sweetwater Collective, text me and I will add you. All right. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss, and all of the gifts of Oshun to each and every one within the sound of my voice who are wishing the same for me and mine. We are blessed to sit under the beautiful, magnificent burgundy mantle of Oya this year. So I got to put her in the blessing, as she is my favorite auntie and as she rules over my sign of my birth of Scorpio. So the immeasurable darkness and the immutable power of Oya over each and every one within the sound of my voice. And as always, we wish the lessons of life on those who are ignorant enough to wish us otherwise. And that's the Obatala part of the greeting for those who did not realize that. All right. I love you guys. For those who I'm going to see in person, I will see you guys in person. And for those who I will continue to see virtually, I will see you virtually soon. Enjoy the rest of y'all's night. Peace, guys.